Hi, this is Paul at Reliable POD, and this is a video showing you how to create a glass cutting board with a personalized text field in the app. In the previous video I showed you how to create the design to upload, and we're going to upload that design now. So you have a couple of options. When you come into the app, you've got My Products and you've got Print on Demand and Personalized. So this one's going to be a personalized one. So if we click on that tab and then click New Personalized Product, and we'll go down to Home Office and select the glass cutting board. So you get your mock-up appear here. Next thing we want to do is click on Start Designing, and we're going to add the image area. So if we click on Add, this is a fixed image at the back, so 95% of the time you'll click on this tab here because you're not going to allow your customer to upload their own image, and you then will upload what we refer to as the static image or the background image. So if we click on there, and there is the image that we created previously, and because you used the template, what that'll do is it'll center it perfectly on the product in the app. You're happy with that? That looks good. So we'll click Add That Layer. Now the first thing you want to do as well is make sure you lock that, because when you're adding the text layer, if you catch on the image below, you can move it. So when you lock it, that locks it off and you can't move it by mistake. So next thing we'll do, click on the Add Text area, which is there, and this creates a small text box here. What I tend to do then is just position that where I'd like it to go, which is roughly going to be there, and then just make sure your text box doesn't catch any of the other image, which that looks good there. Now you want to make sure that that box is in the center. So if you click on Advanced Positioning here, and you get the options to fine tune here. So to make sure that's centralized, if you click on this one here, that, as you see, I'll just nudge it. And if you need to bring it up a few pixels, you've got some fine tuning commands here, but that looks good for now. So what we're going to do is, the first thing I do is put the placeholder text, which shows up in the app. Generally I use enter your text here, and then the number of characters that's going to go across there is probably going to be about 25. So if we put 25, this will stop the customer entering too many characters. Just a note as well, the node colors here, if you were doing, if you was making a green background, they would be hard to see. What you can do is change the node color here. So if you're working on a white one, you can change them to black. So you can see, you can change those. So if you ever get to the stage where you can't see your nodes on a design, you can change them there. We'll just leave them at green for now. Now we come down to the font that we're going to use, and the font we decided on was Dancing Script, which is a handwriting font, which is there. So we can change that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set that to fixed, because I don't want the customer to be able to change the font. If you leave that unfixed, your font group will show here. So I'm going to make that fixed so the customer doesn't get the option to change the fonts. You can manage your font groups here. I'm not going to do a video about that on the Etsy page on the website. There are a couple of videos on how to manage font and color groups. But what you then want to do is look at the size of your text, and that text there, we can probably make that a little bit bigger. So in default font size, we'll make that to 22, and that looks good. That should work. What we will do is we'll make the minimum font size, we'll drop that in at 18. And what that means is if a customer enters wording in here, text in here, if some of the characters are too big, like W's or a large character, what it will do is if it gets too close to the edge, it will automatically lower the size of the font so that it fits. And always make sure your default font size is the same as the maximum font size, which is 22. So we've done that. Now the next thing we want to do is the font color, and I made a note from the design what that color is. So you can create your own color groups if you want, but because we just want this font to be one color, is if we click on there and then type or paste in. I think we were on C46 900, and you can see the box changes to the color, and it also changes the color of the font up here, which looks nice. And again, let's leave that at fixed so that they can't change it. So you've got your font color, which is fixed there, and you can see that's changed. And now you come down to your text options. First one to do, make sure you turn mandatory on. That means the customer can't order it unless they unless they've changed the text. Multi-line will not go into here. Definitely turn on the auto text size within area. So that means the text that they'll put in will be between 22 and 18, depending on what they type. All the styling, alignment, transformation, rotatable and movable, I turn off because the customer doesn't need to be moving text boxes about, etc. Less is more, in my opinion. And I leave the resize on because that will allow you to resize manual orders as well if they come through. Once you're happy with that, click on add layer, and now you can move on to the mockups. So click mockups, all looks good, confirm. These are the mockups we've got. If you click on next, let's give it a title, one test cutting board. You can change these titles afterwards, that's no problem. You can add tags here, you can change the description here. Then if you click create, that's going to go away and it's going to generate all your mockups, etc. So we'll just give that a second. As you can see here, it takes a second to create them. I think that should be done now. Let me just click into it. If we click into it, you don't have to actually upload that to test it. What you can do is if you click into the product, you've got consumer configurator here. And if you press on that and launch the configurator, you can actually see what that'll look like on your Shopify store. So if we type in here, Mom, you are the best, that's what you're going to get. You can change the size. You can see there that's going between 18 and 22. So we'll leave that at 22. And if you want to preview what that looks like, just click on the preview button and that should generate a couple of mock-ups for you to take a look at, which is there. So that's basically how you create your design. So now I'm going to show you how to push this to Etsy. There's videos on how to push the product to Shopify. That's relatively simple. So if you click the three buttons here, or you can click on the product and go into it, click add to store. I'll select our demo store, click next. They're the mock-ups. Then we come here, you can add your tags here or you can add them directly in Etsy. Just type one and use the enter key. Just remember, in your titles, don't put any weird text or exclamation marks. Etsy can be funny. Keep your title simple and make sure that none of your tags are over 20 characters long because Etsy won't accept them. Click on next. Personalization instructions. You can type in there, please enter your text below. So I'll just keep that simple, but you put in whatever you want there. Click on next. If you're going to create a new section, call this kitchen and add, and then make sure you select it. Then you want your category on Etsy, so we'll go cutting board, see if there's one there. Oh, there is, that was a good guess. Click on that to select it. Then you select your shipping profile. If you don't have a shipping profile selected, it won't let you push to Etsy. So if you're new to this, create a shipping profile first in your Etsy store. We've got a video on that on the shipping page and on the Etsy page, how to do it. Click on next. We're the partner. Click on next, it's pricing. You can change your pricing here. You can increase it, decrease it, or change it. Let's say we want it to be $30. It will choose 300. I wish we could. 30.00. That will give you your retail price. And just click add to store and close. I'll just open the Etsy store up now and show you what that looks like when you get in there. So if you come into your Etsy store, you can see that's pushed the product across. If you click on it, you can see here, you can edit your title or whatever you need to do here. You can add some of your own images. We will be adding some more mock-ups for the glass cutting board shortly. This is your instructions for the buyer. If you want to change that to 25, which is the maximum characters, because on Etsy sometimes if you don't put a limit, people can put their life story on there and expect you to cram that into a very small area. So I tend to limit it to the number of characters. Obviously you can change your prices, and then when you come down here to the tags, the tag we put in, the sample one is there, but you can add your own tags, and then quite simply just publish your product and you're good to go. When it comes to processing orders coming in on the website, if you come across to how-to tutorials, select the Etsy one, and there's a video here how to receive orders and artwork swapper that goes through how you need to process your orders and shows you exactly what to do. That's it. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye bye.